Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the answer can't be books tag, which was created by BookBuds, and it's to get to know people in the booktube community. If you're just joining because of the tag, welcome. My name is Ursula. I'm an indie author of historical fiction. I primarily do booktube and authortube related content. The kind of like serious side, I do mostly classic world literature instead of contemporary stuff, and occasionally I'll do a few other things as well. So first question: what is something you own way too many of other than books? Well, as you can see, obviously these are my some of my colored pencils. I will be inserting pictures, and I'm doing this a second time over because I stupidly forgot to insert a pause to allow enough space to actually insert pictures of my art supplies. That was kind of stupid of me. So these are my beautiful polychromos from Faber-Castell. They are made in Germany. They're absolutely beautiful. They're kind of considered widely the gold standard of the colored pencil artist world. They are oil-based. They have very fine points. I just absolutely love them. The reason I got all of mine from open stock, I believe I have about 100 from open stock, because I already have a set of 120 full from Carandash Pablo pencils, which are, they're said to be oil-based, but I've heard they're actually really wax-based, but they don't really like talk about that a lot. But like for all intents and purposes, they do feel very much like an oil-based pencil, and I really love doing artwork. I mostly do geometric and abstract artwork, and sometimes very colorful animals, like for example parrots, frogs, tropical fish, birds, things like that. Just something, maybe turtles, crabs, just underwater marine life, because I just love bright, vivid colors. I didn't really use many earth tones. These are Color Soft by Derwent. They're made in England. I absolutely love these. They're very soft wax-based pencils, and these are the also from Carandash Luminance. They're the kind of the Rolls Royce of the colored pencil. They're absolutely beautiful. They're wax-based, and I have a few Inktense pencils from open stock. I kind of was stupid. I didn't realize some of these I already had in my 24 set, and I also have a few pencil brushes for doing like watercolor pencil work. I don't actually have any. Well, actually, I do have some gouache paints. I haven't really used them much so far, but you can use these for doing watercolor pencils. You draw on the page, and then you like wet the paintbrush in water, and then you like go over what you like just drew on the page. That's what a watercolor pencil is. And I have a few other things here and there, and I'll be obviously inserting pictures. I have colored pencils, watercolor pencils, the gouache paints, and I also have a couple of oil and wax pastels. I absolutely love theirs. They're so absolutely beautiful. I do have a couple of graphite pencils as well, and a couple of open stock Prismacolor pencils, but unfortunately I think those might be 900 miles away in storage instead of coming with me. My it's a long story. As I've mentioned before, I'm very angry at my brother. He hasn't been caring about me, kind of disowned me for reasons too long to get into, and so he hasn't been like sending down my stuff the way he promised he was like obligated to do. And this is something I keep some of my materials, and when traveling, it's from Arlene's Artist Materials, which is from Albany, New York. It just has a couple of my erasers, and then you need kind of different types of erasers when you're an artist, just to like lift up different kinds of materials and do a certain kind of job. It's a nice thing to have around, and I absolutely love peacocks. There's lovely symbolism. And I also got this fairly recently. It's a carrying case for my open stock pencils. I know some artists I've seen on YouTube, the moment they get a new set of pencils, they immediately put all the pencils into a carrying case like this, but I don't see the reason to do that when they already come in a lovely case themselves, and it's just so cute. I like cute and cartoon things like that. It has space for, I think, 127 pencils plus a couple of erasers in the back, and then it'll be very convenient when I, hopefully, God willing, move abroad by next autumn, and I'll have to take my lovely colored pencils on the plane with me, because I don't want to risk them taking on my lift, which will be going on the seas. I absolutely love colored pencils and artwork and stuff like that. I also have obviously a bunch of sketchbooks. Possibly sometime in future I will be doing a full vlog about the kinds of artwork I've done over the years, and now I'll just be quiet so I can insert some pictures of my beautiful art supplies. Now, something else I own way too many of other than books are jigsaw puzzles, which I will also be inserting pictures of. I have a lot of 1,000 jigsaw puzzles. That's the most common and easy to find one. I also have a couple of 1,500 pieces, and I also have a growing number of 2,000. Someday, God willing, if I have a large enough table, I would love to try some 3,000 piece puzzles, but obviously that the price has to be right. Class privilege does play a large role in what people are able to afford, and obviously you need enough space to stick all the puzzles to. And yes, when I move abroad, God willing, by next autumn or even into the winter, all of my jigsaw puzzles will be going with me on the lift, which I pack. And something else I own way too many of that isn't books is jewelry. I don't know how many of you guys saw a previous video I did showing off my non-body jewelry, like the necklaces, rings, bracelets, and brooches. I just absolutely love jewelry. These are two of my signature pieces. These bracelets, I always wear the turquoise on my right hand and the lapis lazuli on my left hand. They're two of my birthstones. I was born in December. I just had my birthday. Believe it or not, I'm 42 years old, although I know I don't probably look much over 30, if that. And I absolutely just love jewelry. It's one of the things I like that's stereotypically feminine. I'm mostly proudly tomboyish. I don't really like a lot of things that are coded as like stereotypically girly and feminine in the West. That's a long story for another topic, but I absolutely do love jewelry, and my eventual goal is to have 11 ear piercings in each ear. I currently only have 10, 6 in the left ear and 4 in the right ear, and I do have some lovely plans for my helix flap decorations. I'm going to be doing representing the last line of the Divine Comedy on the right ear. I believe this has more room for it. It'll be a heart, a sun, and a cluster of stars. And on my right ear, I believe there's less space, so there's more room for like little simple design. It'll be an emerald, a white opal, and an amethyst to represent the suffragette colors, green, white, and violet, which stood for Give Women Votes, as well as the beautiful symbolism of the colors green, white, and purple, violet themselves. Number 2. What is something you do for fun that's not reading a book? I absolutely love cross stitch. I've been doing it since I believe 1988. I've done so many wonderful designs and patterns and such over the years. It's very simple to do, and just get into it and just learn more advanced stitches as you go on. But it's not really that difficult. A child can learn to do it, and it's a wonderful, absolutely life skill. I tend to sew ambidextrously. I constantly passing the needle back and forth through my right and left hand, like on the top and then on the bottom, instead of using one hand. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention I'm a left-handed artist. That's the only hand I use for doing my artwork. And I obviously mentioned I do drawing for fun. That's not reading a book. Hopefully, eventually, I would like to take some art classes at the university level, not to become like an art student or an official dedicated art school, but just to get better at my craft, and also to enter some art contests at the beginner level when I make Aliyah, move to Israel, God willing, next year. They do have a contest for New Orleans immigrants with like a beginner, intermediate, and advanced like entrance thing, and I'm going to be entering in the beginner thing. Hopefully, maybe I will actually win and get better at my art, and I know I'll be more inspired to do art when I'm surrounded by all this beautiful landscape all the time when I'm over there. Also, really enjoy going graving, going to cemeteries. I've done lots and lots of volunteer work for Find a Grave over the years. I think I started around like 2005, maybe. I'd have to go back in my profile and check. But I do enjoy going to lots of wonderful cemeteries. My favorite graves are from the 18th century and before. You know when you're coming up behind, it's a really old grave because it has curlicues on the side and just has beautiful calligraphy and symbolism. I always felt very peaceful in cemeteries. One Shabbos, the Sabbath, I even spent like the entire day there, like reading a book in the cemetery until the lights like started going down. It's just something wonderful. I also do a lot of genealogy. I found out some really cool stuff about my family, at least on my father's side. On my mother's side, I traced one branch back to 16th century Germany. On my father's side, I've gone back really, really far, because once you find famous people in your line, like, you can keep going and going and going. I found royalty, actual like verified royalty on my father's side, but obviously there were some verified extramarital children and morganatic marriages, so obviously that means you're eventually going to become like commoners, but there's some really cool people I've found on my father's side of the family way back. I'll be inserting some pictures of them. My 36th great-grandfather, King Alfred the Great of England, whom I'm hoping eventually to write a historical novel about. And my 29 great-grandmother, Queen St. Margaret of Scotland, whom, God willing, if I have a child before time runs out, and it's a girl, I decided I will be naming her Margalit, the Hebrew form of Margaret, in honor of her. She's just one of my sheroes, just an absolutely brilliant, inspirational woman. She did far more than just passively wear a crown, and she was a very wonderful woman, not at all what many people stereotypically associate with the Middle Ages. Also enjoy watching silent and early sound films. I've seen almost 1,300 silent films to date. I began keeping my list in early 2005 when I had just started seriously getting into it, like I think, yeah, in the late autumn of 2004, so it was all still fresh in my memory, or I could like go back and look on these anthology DVDs and see all the films listed, and then once I got to a certain point, I just, listed them as I saw them instead of just like recording what I remembered. I knew I had seen. My favorite actor of the silent era is Rudy Valentino. He's just so beautiful, my dream man. He was beautiful both inside and out. I'll be inserting some of my favorite photos of Rudy, and he was just, I absolutely can't recommend his films highly enough. He was such a beautiful man. Before I move abroad, I would love to go out to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I believe he's buried in. Many people have reported that it's kind of haunted there. They feel, cold spots and weird lights show up on film, and some women have even reported feeling phantom kisses when they go there. So that would be something really cool to happen when I go out there and visit Rudy's grave and pay my respects finally. Number 3. What is something special or important on your nightstand that's not a book? I'll show you guys. I bought this when I went to Disneyland. I think Disneyland is the one in Florida. I never can remember which is Disneyland and Disney World because I've only been there. The once I went there with my maternal grandparents in December of 2005, right around the time I was turning 26 years old. I had avoided Disney all these years because I thought it was, cliche, and I don't like doing things people think you're supposed to because everyone's doing it, so I, want to be kind of oppositional. These are obviously the Three Stooges. Don't believe the sexist myth that only males like them. That's totally crap. I love physical comedy. I love my own personal favorite comedians, Laurel and Hardy. This means a lot to me because, Curly had a real-life limp. He accidentally shot himself in the foot when he was a boy, and his big brother Mo found him and came to the rescue. And I was in a car accident in August 2003. I had eventually 7 surgeries, 4 on my leg and 3 plastic to remove second-degree burn scars on my stomach and abdomen, and I was left with a bit of a limp. It used to be much stronger and more prominent, and I felt like garbage about having a limp until I found out Curly had a real-life limp too. It made me feel so much better about myself and proud. It was like just a giant shot of pride in the arm when I found out one of my favorite comedians, one of the greatest comedians of all time, and a nice Jewish boy as well, also had a limp. So it's just something really wonderful I have in common with such a special person like Curly, and I do absolutely love the Stooges. Don't think, they're too silly or childish or whatever. Many adults love them too for different reasons than kids do. They just age so well across generations in time. Number 4. What's something that you buy at a bookstore other than books? Well, I've bought a couple of DVDs of classic films, mostly from the silent era, and sometimes I'll buy bookmarks and notebooks and things like that. I've seen Jigsaw puzzles at bookstores. I don't think I've bought too many there so far, and sometimes obviously you'll buy food or drink at a bookstore if they're hawking that. Number 5. What's a fun gift you've received that wasn't a book or a gift card for books? I recently got this as a birthday present from my parents. My secular birthday is on December 18th. My Hebrew birthday is the 5th night of Hanukkah, which was started on December 2nd this year and continued through the 3rd. This is a fountain pen in purple. I've been using an orange one a while, an old one my father gave me, and it has, this one currently came with blue ink, but I have also mostly been using purple ink in it. I love, writing by hand. Believe it or not, some people actually still use cursive writing and don't think it's stupid or silly or old-fashioned. I've been keeping journals regularly since 19 89. My current journal's name is Mary. I name all my journals after songs. I can talk more about my journals in a future post, but I just love writing by hand. It's something so calming, relaxing, and this is what I showed him on a much previous vlog. I thought I was going to need to hold him until I became more confident speaking on camera and just talking to myself. His name is Davy. He has a twin sister named Davina who looks much better. She's unfortunately in storage 900 miles away because my brother is not being nice to me, and I named him after Davy Jones of the Monkees. Because I was so young when I got into the Monkees during the 1986 revival, I chose Davy as my favorite because I thought he was the cutest. If I had gotten into them as an older teenager or an adult, it probably would have been Mike or Peter who would have been my favorite, but probably Mike, who, as you probably know, sadly just passed away at the age of 78. But I mean, I just love this soft, beautiful kitty. He's my Velveteen Rabbit. I don't sleep with him at night anymore because you can see he's so worn out. I keep him in a drawer now, and obviously I unfortunately won't be able to pass him on to my future children if God willing I finally have children before time runs out, and obviously find a husband to have them with. But he's just something so beautiful to me. I couldn't even send him to stuffed animal hospital because that would mean I'm taking out my grandmother's stitches that my paternal grandmother made him, and Davina for me, and I think 1987 or so. And so obviously he's been with me through a lot. He even came to me in the ER after I had my car accident in August 2003, and he was with me after my surgeries, my first two leg surgeries, which I had in later August 2003 and October 2003. He's just someone so special. He's obviously going in my carry-on luggage when I move to Israel next year. He's just, I can't say enough about how special Davey has been to me all these years. And I even once gave a speech in my speech class sophomore year of community college about how he's one of the things I would save from a fire. I would just absolutely I would definitely go back into a burning house to save my beautiful Davy. He means more to me than words ever can. If you've never read The Velveteen Rabbit, real is a stuffed animal or toy who's been through a lot and totally worn out, doesn't even look new or good anymore, but that doesn't matter to the person who made you real. Only people who don't understand think you're ugly just because you're worn out and old. I just love Davy so much. And number 6, what's a YouTube channel you watch that's not related to books? I've been watching the Rap Critic for years, long before he even was on YouTube. He was on Channel Awesome, and that guy with the glasses, he's really, really funny. I'm one of many people who not really into rap, nothing personal, but it's just not my genre at all. And he's made a lot of people have a new love and appreciation for good rap and hip hop. He's made us realize, there's a lot of intelligent music in this genre. You just have to know where to look for it, and not all rap is crap. Although some of his best, funniest reviews are for songs he gives 0 out of 5 stars to, and he has so many funny classic lines. He rips all these songs a new one because they're just bad or terrible brag raps or misogynistic or just really crappy. He just wants to see more intelligence and thought put into this genre he loves so much. Although unfortunately when he teams up with his girlfriend Lady Jess, I don't know if they're still together, they kind of really dropped the ball. They did a crappy, terrible, missing the point review of the Jazz Singer with Al Jolson and the Warner Brothers censored 11 cartoons. They were just ranting and bringing modern SJW politics into it, and instead of actually judging them by context and intent. And I was so embarrassed for Lady Jess when she stumbled over pronouncing Kol Nidre and the last name Rabinowitz. Seriously, you were going to be on camera. Couldn't you figure out how to pronounce those words before you started speaking? It was just kind of embarrassing. But when he sticks to music, it's generally really fun, and he's pointed me towards a lot of really good classic rap songs and even some modern ones. I've never bought a rap album myself. I don't really think I ever would, but I really enjoy listening to these songs he's pointed me towards, so thank you. And I'm number 7. I'm tagged 5 booktubers you want to learn more about. Unfortunately, not many people watch my channel at the moment because I'm still starting out, so if any of you guys are watching this channel and would like to do the tag and haven't already, obviously I welcome you to do the tag. So if you've listened to all the way to the end, thank you very much. My next vlog will possibly be on Wednesday. I do a lot of Dantean content. I believe my next Dantean post will be on Terza Rima, the style Dante wrote the Divine Comedy in, and I'm also doing vlog forms of many of the other Dante-related blog posts I've written, particularly this year. And my next book review will be The Play of God by Davy. It's a book about the life of Krishna, which I read in 2002. It really reawakened my interest in Hinduism and got me to, relate to God as more than, the standard, like, Western idea. It's just such a beautiful, wonderful, timeless story just about, like, Hinduism and Indian mytho-history and the life of Krishna and all these wonderful, really cool, fun, inspirational stories. And so please, if you'd like to subscribe to me for more similar content, I mostly do like classic world literature. I don't really do like contemporary stuff. I know that won't make me very popular, but I do love, classic world literature, and also like a lot of nonfiction. I do many Jewish books as well, and I also will do like some AuthorTube related content, which kind of has, a crossover with BookTube. So please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and just commenting too, because I'm really hoping to build my channel. And once I get to 100 subscribers, I will be planning to do 105 video series on the Decameron, a classic book of medieval Italian literature. So thank you very much for watching, and see you very soon. Thanks. Bye.